Happy DocMas residents. Ooh. Welcome to the Dr. DC podcast. My name is producer Richard, and across from me is the doctor himself.
Hello.
This year, like every year, we release an episode every day for the 12 days leading up to Christmas.
That's right.
Which we like to call DocMas.
Yep. 12 days, 12 episodes, drinks. 12 drinks, all recorded
in a single day.
So you're hearing us six in.
Halfway.
This is the sixth, of 12, yeah.
I'm eating an onion ring.
Yeah, we've upgraded to onion ring garnish for our Caesars that we're having. I have some upsetting news that I wanted to share.
Uh-oh.
You know, we've gotten an email from, it was called like, the email name was like Dedication Then Fly. It was sort of like this weird esoteric name.
Yeah.
You remember that? Well, I just received a GIF on Twitter that shows that is an anagram for definitely not Chad.
Oh.
It was Bokelman the whole time.
Son of a bitch.
I
feel like a fool.
Yeah, I feel so betrayed.
I feel taken advantage of.
I know. I was really
not the way I like.
I was really starting to care for Dedication. Thank you, Chad. Love you.
I was so nice to them of not knowing. You know what it was? It wasn't that long of an email. I think that's what that's all I didn't know.
Listen, Chad's a chameleon.
Yeah, constantly changing.
Yeah. We've got some big news that we're about to do, right?
That's right.
I mean, the day that we are recording all of these DocMas episodes, all 12 of them, is December 8th, which, for those of you who like to mark things like this on your calendar, will remember this is the day that the Wonder Woman 1984 trailer came out, or comes out, because we're in the day today.
Yeah.
But when you're listening to this, it came out.
That's right. Math.
So we're going to watch it.
Yeah, we are.
Because it's finally out. Mm-hmm. And like hell if I'm not going to watch that shit.
We're watching it right now. We may not be able to watch Crisis, but...
Well, yeah, Crisis is tonight.
Seemingly we
comes out at 8.
Depending on how well we do.
Yeah.
We could watch it tonight.
We could, yeah.
All right, well, let's watch this trailer.
Let's do it. That looks pretty dope.
It's interesting.
Great soundtrack for the trailer.
Oh, yeah.
So, things we saw in the trailer. Looks to confirm that thing that we had heard about Maxwell Lord with the rock kind of thing. Yeah, Maxwell Lord looks interesting. Like he's like a TV personality kind of thing, which is like he's got influence on people and stuff like that. We don't see any Cheetah. We just see Barbara Ann Minerva in this trailer. No Cheetah. Yeah. But that's okay if that's like a thing that happens in the movie. Let's guard that a little bit. Some cool looking action. Looks like we even see some Themyscira again.
Yeah. Maybe some like training thing or like a competition or something.
Yeah. There's some... Yeah, I mean, it looks cool. Lots of lasso work in this movie. More than the first Wonder Woman. First Wonder Woman was a lot more sword and shield. This one's a lot of lasso, and I like that.
It seems like it's a lot more bombastic, I would say, than the first one.
Yes. Well, I mean, and certainly even just the color palette, right? We're not in World War I. We're not trying to make it look old or serious. It's the 80s. It's colorful. It's sort of big and bright.
Over the top.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm digging it. I'm excited.
Even the filmmaking, a lot of it feels like 80s movies. Like, it feels like it's a like sort of nod to that genre, like the 80s sort of film kind of thing. Like, yeah, it's interesting. I'm a little concerned about it, but the whole Steve Trevor thing still I'm really sort of confused by.
Right. I mean, according to that rumor that we had heard, it's that maybe she accidentally wishes for him to be back, but he's back in a way that only she can tell it's him. Yeah. Otherwise, he's just sort of in a different body kind of thing.
Yeah.
Which
based on that outfit, maybe like an old man.
Yeah, it could be. Yeah. Yeah. I'm looking forward to it. Very, very cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally.
Also, she's swinging from lightning bolts. Looks dope as hell.
Yeah, that's pretty rad.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's head into the questions.
All right, let's do it.
First question comes on through Facebook.
Going to the face and the book. Going to the Facebook.
That's right. And Chad Bokelman.
Dedication Then Fly. What is Chad?
Bokelman. Who just says, Justice League Europe, why should we care?
Sorry, I'm partway through celery here. Right. Why should we care? The Justice League Europe is sort of from that weird era, kind of 90s-y, where the characters, it's a weird lineup, first of all, of the Justice League. We've got like a Captain Atom, we've got Flash, we've got Elongated Man in there. It's not full on the silly, fun humor of the Justice League International, where that was like, it's almost like it's written like a comedy, right? It's almost more like we're in a weird in-between zone between the comedy of Justice League International and the sort of regular goings-on of a normal, what you would consider to be Justice League.
Yeah.
I don't know that I have a super solid argument for why should we care about Justice League Europe, other than if you're into a character like Elongated Man, who doesn't necessarily always get limelight, you'll see him in that series. Same goes for Captain Atom. Same goes, like it's more, I think my strongest pitch I can make for Justice League Europe is, do you like one of the characters on the roster? Check it out, because you at least get to read them.
Totally.
I don't know that there's I would be like, man, the best thing about Justice League Europe was like, I don't know that it has something like that. The way that Justice League International is like the buddy comedy kind of thing.
Yeah.
I think it's kind of its own beast. It's not necessarily a masterwork, but if you like some of those characters that don't necessarily get a bunch of love, especially nowadays, characters like Captain Atom and Elongated Man rarely show up.
Yeah.
It's fun to read for that. I think that's my best case pitch for it, really. Yeah.
Absolutely. All right. Well, let's leave Facebook and head on over to Twitter.
Twitter.
That goes Cray.
Ain't it, Jay?
What's she order?
Fish fillet.
The Cray Ghost, that's right. Who asks, which alien planet is likely to have the best cheesesteak? And how much is the fare on Space Cabbie's intergalactic taxi to get there? For a friend, I promise. Maybe. It's for me.
Have we ever talked about Space Cabbie before?
We have once.
Once? So Space Cabbie is born in the 22nd century. Closer future. Mm-hmm. He is literally what his name implies. He is like an intergalactic transportation service.
Makes sense. Yeah.
He doesn't have special powers, but he drives his sort of like galaxy cab, essentially. Space Cabbie has shown up, though, in animation in, I think, Justice League Action. They've used Space Cabbie for a few episodes and stuff like that. He is a character that is around. Now, hypothetically, Richard, of all of the planets we've learned about over the time we've done this podcast, what planet would you be like, I'm sure they'd have an okay cheesesteak?
Ooh.
I'm going to say straight up, not Krypton. I wouldn't trust Krypton to cook meat of any variety. I think they're all vegetarians.
No, that's for sure. Yeah.
That's why their planet exploded.
Sure.
That's the stance I'm taking.
What's the planet, the one that's a floating tank, essentially?
Sorry, what?
The planet that's like it basically is just like a metal planet that's got a bunch of guns and stuff.
Warworld.
Warworld.
You think Warworld's got like
I feel like they're pretty
down
good
in the canteen level?
Yeah, I feel like they know how to cook meat there,
Sure, yeah.
With all the terrorism that they do.
What are we equating?
Just saying.
All right. Well, I mean, Warworld travels around, so actually, in terms of how much Space Cabbie would charge, it depends on where you're leaving from. But even if you're leaving from Earth, Warworld travels around the galaxy. If you catch it when it's close to Earth, then it could be a cheap ride to that cheesesteak.
Yeah, it just depends on the time of the day,
Yeah. Well, yeah,
peak hours.
Have to dodge space traffic.
Yeah.
Or you ask him to go one space direction, and he takes a weird space detour, and it racks the fare up. Yeah. Nice.
Yeah. What about you?
Oh, yeah, I guess I should pick one.
Yeah.
I'm going to say Yismalt, the homeworld of the Red Lantern Corps. I think they know how to do like a nice rare, medium rare steak. I don't think that's ideal for cheesesteak necessarily,
not
but I'm just thinking of regular steak. And the benefit of Yismalt is it's also in sector 2814.
2814.
So from Earth, very short cab ride in a galactic sense.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that's what I'm going to say.
But the music terrible on the way there.
Music's bad, yeah.
Yeah. All right. Time for our next question.
All right.
It's time for everyone's favorite trivia night for the Dyslexia Club's favorite cities. It's Oregon night.
Jesus. We're stretching.
Yeah, I'm really having a hard time. Didn't know there'd be more than one question in this.
Yeah.
All right. Oregon Knight asks, how come Vixen never got a live action show like Flash or Black Lightning, but is relegated to animated spin-offs and minor roles in the CW?
Yeah. So specifically in the CW, Vixen first shows up in the animated show on CW Seed. It was like 6 episodes, but it was set in the Arrowverse. Like Grant Gustin played Flash on that. Stephen Amell played Arrow, and Vixen showed up there first. Then she showed up in maybe like 1 or 2 episodes of Arrow live action. And then in Legends, we get her grandmother, like a previous Vixen, was on the team. But she's never had her own solo.
Oh, solo.
Oh,
no solo series.
Yeah, we've never seen her on her own, like on her own show, live action. Why is that? I mean, I would like to say it's because they didn't know if Vixen was a popular enough character, but like, I don't know. Other people get shows. You know,
yeah, Black Lightning got a show, and that's not a widely known character.
I mean, I don't think Vixen is less known than Black Lightning,
no?
Right? So to me, it's almost like I don't know. She's like not white, and she's not a man. Maybe let's test her out in animation.
Yeah, we can't have maybe 2 strikes against her.
Maybe we'll make her a co-star. It sort of feels like that a little bit. I mean, I don't want to say that that's what it was. It might not have been that, but I don't know. She's not less known than Black Lightning. It wouldn't have been crazy to make a Vixen show.
No, I agree.
Yeah.
Bullshit. All right, let's leave Twitter and head on over to email.
Check the email.
I hope it's from a female. Comes from Josu Munoz.
I think it's Josue or something like that.
It's Josue.
Probably like Josue or something, because like Munoz is... I don't imagine the Spanish pronunciation.
The most interesting
is Josu.
Anyways, Joshua?
It's probably the same root.
Yeah. Anyways, I apologize. JM. JM asks, I am 18-year-old DC Comics fan, and I have been a fan since I was 17.
Okay.
But I am confused on what age range were DC Comics and Marvel Comics originally and really directed to during the Golden Age and Silver Age. Some people say they were for kids and they just started making them for adults. Some say they were originally for adults and were never for kids. Which fact is true and which are popular misconceptions? On DC Comics apps, the ratings on those comic books are actually 12 plus, and I really don't get why. I need a correction and most accurate answer to the question.
Right. I mean, generally speaking, comic books, superhero comics back in the day were made for kids.
Yeah.
But what they discovered was that adults were reading them. And specifically during the war, it was a thing that was being like read on the front line. They're easy to transport, they're quick, and they're diversions, right, from the horrors of war. Totally. So that's sort of spawned the whole genre of war comics, things like Sergeant Rock and Easy Company and like all that kind of stuff came from the fact that they were like, oh no, people are actually reading these. More specifically, soldiers are reading these. Why don't we give them
something to read?
Initially, though, they were made for kids. They were sort of thought of as kids things. And I think through the Silver Age, especially with the, with the Comics Code Authority that sort of restricted what content they could have and how they could approach it and stuff like that. That was about, the protection of the kids, right? It was try to fight against that whole seduction of the innocent sort of stupid thing that was out there. Modern comics, I will say for the most part, skew older than comics from decades ago, right? Yeah. Like if the average sort of idea of the readership age decades ago was like kids and early teens, now it's like 30-year-olds, right?
Yeah.
Like, they rate them, 12 plus, but it's really, like they're writing stories more for us than anything,
Totally.
Recently things like those Wonder Comics or the DC Zoom or Ink, those other imprints are trying to put out some stuff that's maybe a bit younger skewed, which I think is important, because how are you going to get into comics if things are deemed too violent or too suggestive or whatever for you to read when you're a kid, right? You can't always just read shit from the 60s. You need contemporary stuff for kids to read. So stuff like Young Justice and Wonder Twins and stuff like that that's out right now is great. Dial H for Hero is great for that, because it's actually written slightly younger. I don't think those are hard and fast age recommendations, but I think that's some sort of legal department going like, I think we can get away with not getting in trouble for this.
I like that.
I think that's the best answer.
That should be the mission statement for this podcast.
Yeah.
All right. We've got a voicemail.
Hit me.
Hey, Dr. DC. Hey, producer Richard. Here's my 6th dial doc for DocMas. This is about where my good names got all used up. It's Nar Wally, and it's a small robot resembling like a metal box with binocular eyes and like tank treads for feet. And in its hands, it's wielding several long spear-like narwhal tusks, and mostly it just chase down criminals that way, for justice, with spears/tusks. Anyway, bye.
Awesome.
Love
Narwhali.
That signals that time. It's the Dial Doc. It's based on Dial H for Hero. Every week we come up with our own never before seen hero or villain with a weird name and wacky powers. We've been doing this for so long now that we're really scraping the bottom of the barrel.
Yeah.
And I'm going to very shamelessly wear my influences on my sleeve for this one. Mm-hmm. So we got, from Cosmic DM, we got Narwhali. Mine is called Manmoth.
Wow.
And basically Manmoth, when he can transform and he becomes like, he doesn't become a mammoth, but he becomes like a mammoth-sized human covered in hair and with sort of big, sort of stumpy limbs. And so he can like survive in cold climates. He's super strong. He's very hardy. But he's still like bipedal. He's still like a human, but he becomes like a mammoth-sized human with mammoth sort of attributes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. My character is named Brussels Sprout.
Okay.
He is a Frenchman. Connected.
How dare you? Brussels is in Belgium.
Yeah, but they speak French.
Some of them.
Anyways,
how dare you?
And he is connected to the green, obviously.
Sure,
but he has the ability to only fight against children and and produce vegetables that children do not like, and to like shoot them into their mouths.
Jesus. There are so many things I don't like about this idea.
You don't like the idea that a character can shoot into children's mouth? I don't know what's wrong with that.
I don't like the idea of a character whose only adversary are children.
And yet it's the thing he's drawn to the most.
I would say this is the worst one you've come up with since Pedophile.
What? He's good at with bikes. Pedophile. I don't understand.
Yeah. And like I said, he only likes those bikes with the training wheels on. Wow. So sorry, we got Brussels Sprout and Manmoth this today for
Get it
Dial
Sprout
Docs.
because of kids. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I got it. I will never be able to unget it.
Oh, that makes me happy. All right. Well, that is it for today.
Wow.
If you want to send in your own Dial Docs, all you have to do is use that hashtag DialDoc and send us your ideas for a character. Or you can send us in maybe a question you have for a future episode, or potentially just chat with us online about nerdy shit you like.
Yeah.
You can reach us on our various social media platforms, such as our Facebook,
Dr. DC Podcast,
Twitter,
at Dr. DC,
Instagram,
Dr. DC Podcast,
email,
DrDCPodcast@gmail.com,
our subreddit,
r/Dr_DC.
Of course, the doc phone is now open.
208-917-3238.
You can call us just the same way that we got from Cosmic DM. It's 208-917-DCEU. And of course, you can buy our merch.
Buy our merch.
On our website.
drdcpodcast.com or .ca.
Buy our merch. And of course, don't forget to leave us a 5-star review on iTunes and subscribe to that Patreon, baby.
Yeah, patreon.com/DrDC. Every Friday, you get an episode of the Double Dose. It's a full bonus episode you get every week. And throughout DocMas, you will get extra little video content every single day. We'll answer an extra question, and you'll get to see us slowly deteriorate as the week goes on.
Yes, much quicker than the way that we typically do.
Yeah.
All right, that's it for today. We'll talk to you tomorrow.
Adios.
Ciao, ciao.
Heroes, they always fight for what is right. Live with danger and adventure, they are men of might.
This was a Brain Freeze podcast.